Hello friends, welcome to the channel Simplified Biology. Today in this video we are going to learn about organisms and population. The topic has weightage of 3 marks for compulsory and 4 marks with option in the board examination. So let's start with the organisms and population. The world around us is full of diversity. Different biotic and abiotic factors are present around us, and we always surprised how such diversity exists in the nature. Whether the presence or survival of the biotic factor is dependent on the abiotic factors. Is it necessary to have abiotic factors around us for survival of the biotic, that means living forms on the earth? When we observe different living forms around us, we come to know that there is a large variety as well as there is huge complexity among them. This complexity we always studied in the biology, as the organisms are made up of cells. Cells come together to form tissues. Tissues come together to form organ, and different organ constitutes body system, and number of systems constitute an organism. But in case of nature, while we are studying about our environment, our nature, the organization doesn't get stopped at this point. When we are studying about the organization, in the course of ecology, in the course of environmental science, the organism gives rise to population. The population gives rise to community, communities gives rise to ecosystem, and all the ecosystem gives rise to biosphere. So, or biomes. So, this is the typical hierarchy of the biosystems. Now, let's start with the initial factor, that is the ecosystem. First of all, we will study about the ecosystem. In the previous standards, we have already studied about the concept of ecosystem. An ecosystem is a community of living organisms interacting with each other as well as non-living environment. Here keep in mind students that in the ecosystem there are interactions between the living forms. Two living forms interact with each other, as well as there is interaction of the living form along with the non-living form. So living forms and non-living forms together forms ecosystem. The interactions between them are always going on. So now, what about the living and non-living factors? In the case of ecology, in the study of ecology, we call them as biotic factors and abiotic factors. The biotic factors are the living factors, which mainly includes plant, animals, fungi, bacteria, etc. It also includes microorganisms, parasites also. And the non-living forms include water, sunlight, soil, air, temperature, etc. So all these factors constitutes the ecosystem. And the study of different ecosystems, study of different biotic and abiotic factors are studied under one roof, that is called as ecology. So ecology is the branch of biology which deals with the study of interactions among the organisms, between the organisms and their abiotic environment. Here also we will study about the interaction. The term ecology was first coined by the Ritter, but the term is introduced by Haeckel. E. Haeckel first introduced the term ecology. Here we are observing different ecosystems. In the first image, we are observing different biotic as well as abiotic factors. In the second image also, we are observing different biotic and abiotic factor forming a ecosystem or a pond ecosystem, we can call it. In the first image, we are observing different biotic factors, right from microorganism to macroorganism, right from algae, protozoas, planktons, bacteria to the insects and larger animals. Along with biotic factors, there are certain abiotic factors. Sunlight is there, then logs are there, water is there, rocks are there. So all these are the abiotic factor. And in the ecology, in the ecosystem, ecosystem is the unit of ecology. Okay. So in the ecosystem, both biotic and abiotic factor interfere with each other. Now, for studying the ecology in detail, we should study it in a sequential manner. There are four sequential levels of increasing complexity. Keep in mind, all these levels are with the increasing complexity. As per the level increases, the complexity also increases. Okay. So, four sequential levels are nothing but the organism. Watch here. Organism, then population, then community, then ecosystem, and then biome. If you observe the figure carefully, you can easily understand about the meaning of the terms. Now, let's study in detail about the hierarchy of the ecological levels. Organism is the individual living thing present in the lower level. Here, it is the living entity which carry out all the life processes in its body, separate from those in other individuals, and they are developed from the pre-existing one. The organisms come together, they form a group, live together in the same area, and they form population. Here a single bison, a single organism is there, they live together and they form their population. The population of the organism when live together in a definite geographical area, when they live in a definite geographical area and there is interaction among them, among the organisms present in the same geographical area. ज्या भौगोलिक परिस्थितीमध्ये हे पॉप्युलेशन रिसाइड करतं राहतं आहे तिथे असणाऱ्या इतर बायोटिक फॅक्टर्स बरोबर अबायोटिक फॅक्टर्स बरोबर जेव्हा त्यांची इंटरॅक्शन होणार आहे तेव्हा आपण त्या युनिटला म्हणणार आहोत कम्युनिटी. सो पॉप्युलेशन्स लिव्ह टुगेदर इन अ डेफिनाइट जिओग्राफिकल एरिया टू फॉर्म द कम्युनिटी. ओके, देन द कम्युनिटी and its non-living surrounding, okay, it forms the ecosystem. Here you are observing that there is presence of bison along with some dogs, grass, stream, rocks, air, hawk, etc. are present. That means both biotic and abiotic factors are present here. And then finally the biosphere, it is the top level of the hierarchy which is present or which is the part of the earth. In this way we are observing different hierarchical levels of the ecological organization. Here also we are shown a picture to understand in better manner. Here a single organism which forms its population number increases, live together in a specific geographical area, they form the population. The population lives in geographical condition and comes closer and have interaction with the other living organism, biotic factors as well as the abiotic factors present in the same area and they form the community. The biotic and abiotic factor interact with each other and they form the ecosystem, and finally ecosystem is the part of the earth and it forms the biosphere. And in this way there is interaction between organisms and environment, and these are studied under the branch called as ecology. So in the ecology there is study of the animal and plant physiology which help us to understand why there is essential necessity to study the ecology. Why it is essential to study the ecology? It is essential to understand how the organisms are adapted to their environment. The environment in which organism lives, how there is adaptation, how there are changes to suit or to survive in the given geographical area at the given climatic conditions. Not only for their survival, there is not only survival of the organism but there is perpetuation of the species, there is reproduction, there is increase in the number of organisms of that species. And the main aim of the living organism is continuation of the species, and for the continuation of the species adaptation is necessary. And so in the study of ecology we come to know that how adaptations takes place. Now why there is necessity or need of the adaptation? The geographical condition is mainly the reason behind this. You know that The rotation of the earth around the sun and the tilted axis of it causes the seasons. The seasons have annual variations either in the precipitation, that means rainfall or snowfall, which gives rise to formation of major biomes on the earth. वेगवेगळ्या भौगोलिक परिस्थितीमध्ये पडणारा पाऊस, तिथलं पर्जन्यमान, जर तो आर्टिक किंवा अंटार्क्टिक रिजन असेल तर तिथे होणारा स्नोफॉल, तिथे असणारे सीझन्स, तिथे असणारी अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ सनलाईट, ह्या सगळ्यावर अवलंबून ह्या पृथ्वीवर, ज्याला आपण लार्जेस्ट इकोसिस्टीम म्हणतो किंवा अर्थ ॲज अ बिगेस्ट बायोम असं म्हणतो, ह्याच्यावर आपल्याला काय तयार झालेले दिसतात, वेगवेगळे भौगोलिक प्रदेश, जिओग्राफिकल एरियाज तयार झालेले दिसतात. त्यालाच आपण काय म्हणणार आहोत, बायोम असं म्हणणार आहोत. सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन द स्पेसिफिक क्लायमेटिक झोन देर आर लार्ज रिजनल एरियाज प्रेझेंट ऑन द अर्थ विच शोज vegetation zone as well as the associated fauna, that means animals present in that region, and these are called as biomes. So there are different kinds of biomes, mainly rainforest, tundra, taiga, desert biome, grassland biome, or the trophic desert biome. All these biomes leads to formation of different habitats. Depending upon the geographical condition, different biomes arises. Depending upon the climatic conditions, different biomes arise. So first of all, let's understand about the desert biome. So in the picture you are observing about the desert biome. A typical condition of the desert biome. Now what is the typical condition? First of all, when we think about the desert biome, we come to know about its climate. There is high temperature, ground is sandy or rocky, and vegetation is sparse, that means very less. Now when we are observing about the flora, आता इथे फ्लोरा आणि फाउना हे दोन शब्द आपल्याला जात आहेत. फ्लोरा इज रिलेटेड विथ द प्लांट लाईफ, फाउना इज रिलेटेड विथ द ॲनिमल लाईफ. सो फ्लोरा, when we are observing about the flora, there are different types of flora, different types of plants are present. Mainly these are the plants which can grow in lack of water, scarcity of the water. Mainly the succulent xerophytes are present. Succulent xerophytes कोणाला म्हणायचं? Here you are observing about the cactus. Look at the vegetation, look at the green structure. Actually these are not leaf, you know that these are the modified leaves. Okay, सो हे जे मॉडिफाईड लीव्स आहेत ते स्पाईनमध्ये कन्वर्ट झालेत आणि मॉडिफाईड स्टेम आहेत जे सक्कलंटली ग्रीन कलर्ड क्लोरोफिल कंटेनिंग अशा सक्कलंट थिक अशा पार्टमध्ये कन्वर्ट झालेत. सो दीज आर द कॅक्टसेस. देन देर आर नॉट ओनली कॅक्टसेस बट देर आर डीप रूटेड श्रब्स आर ऑल्सो प्रेझेंट whose roots go deep into the soil in search of water. So in this figure you are observing about the typical plant life. The animals present in the desert biome are also typical. Here you are observing about a rat-like animal which is nothing but the kangaroo rat, which is the specific animal present in this region. Then you are well familiar with the camel. There are desert tortoise, then lizards, coral snakes are also present in this region. Then let's go to the next biome, that is the tropical rainforest biome. Here you are observing in this region there is dense vegetation which we called as jungle mainly. The thick and dense vegetation is the characteristic feature of the typical rainforest biome. Here there is abundant plant and abundant animals present in the jungles or forest. Variety of plants are present. It includes small size plants, tall trees, small trees, bushes, herbs. All are plants of the different heights are present here. Here in this picture you are observing all the variety of plants. Climbers are also present. You are also observing epiphytes, that means the smaller plants which grow by the support of the larger trees. When we are observing about the fauna, about the animals, we observe that different fauna is present. In the upper side, upper story, there are birds, insects you are observing in the figure. Then bats and monkeys are there. Then in the ground fauna, there are snakes, deers, look at this picture, you are observing at the ground level, two pictures are there. Okay, so different animals, forest goat, leopard is there. Okay, so all such type of flora and fauna, it is present in the typical rainforest biome. Then when we are observing about the grassland biome, we people residing in the Satara region, Western Ghat region, we are well familiar with the grassland of Mahabaleshwar and Pachgani. So this is the typical picture. आपण अनेकदा हा भाग बघितलेला आहे. So this grassland biome, it is also the typical biome which mainly consists of the grasses, mainly grasses as well as scattered bushes and some occasional trees are there. While considering about the fauna, it consists of deer, lion, bison, wolf, then sheep, rabbit, mice, kangaroo, frogs. Number of grassland animals are there. So this type of biome, it is rich in the flora and fauna as that of the rainforest biome. And then the next biome, it is the tundra. That means this region, it is present in the icy region, Iceland आपण ज्याला म्हणू शकतो, बरोबर आहे, जिथे स्नोफॉल आपल्याला दिसून येतो असा हा टुंड्रा किंवा तैगा रिजन. ह्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला काय दिसून येतं, टिपिकल टुंड्रा रिजन जो आहे इट शोज द फ्लोरा जस्ट लाईक मॉसेस अँड लायकेन्स ॲज वेल ॲज स्मॉल अँड हेरी leaf like structures are present. In this region we are observing different mosses, okay, as well as lichens are there. Look here mosses are there, lichens are there, small trees, shrubs are also there. While observing the animals, the mainly polar bear, wild yak, snow leopard, then bald eagles, walrus, these are the familiar penguins. These are the typical fauna of the tundra region or taiga region. Then next is the coniferous forest biome. It is not included in our syllabus, but in the figure we come to know about the coniferous forest biome. So what is conifers? Conifers are the typical plants having needle like leaves. Okay, slanting leaves are there. Mainly pine trees, fir, devdar, redwood are the plants to which you are familiar already. These are present in the coniferous forest animals. Coniferous region. The animals mainly include are American bison, reindeer, wolf, snowshoe hare, rabbit category मधला आहे, आर्टिक फॉक्स आहे, असे नंबर ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिझम्स, नंबर ऑफ ॲनिमल्स आपल्याला इथे दिसत आहेत. सो ऑल दीज कॉन्स्टिट्यूट डिफरंट बायोम्स. And in this figure mainly we are observing about the graphical representation of major biomes on the earth. To study the major biomes on the earth, we should take in consideration about the annual precipitation, that means the rainfall, along with the annual temperature. When we come to know about this and observing comparatively, we come to know that in the desert region the temperature is between 5 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. Here you are observing about the desert biome. 5 to 20 डिग्रीमध्ये आपल्याला डेझर्ट बायोम दिसतोय. त्याच्यामधली पण व्हरायटी आपण आत्ता बघितलेली आहे. ग्रासलँड रिजनमध्ये 0 to 25 डिग्री आपल्याला साधारणतः टेम्परेचर दिसून येतं. त्याच्यामध्ये पण कशी ह्यूज डायव्हर्सिटी आहे ते आपण पाहिलं. ट्रॉपिकल फॉरेस्ट जिथे टेम्परेचर हाय आहे, बरोबर, 18 to 25 डिग्री सेल्सिअस टेम्परेचर आहे. त्याचबरोबर प्रेसिपिटेशनचा रेट पण जास्त. इकडे दोन्हीकडे डेझर्टमध्ये, ग्रासलँडमध्ये रेट ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशन, रेनफॉल थोडंसं आपल्याला स्लाईड दिसून येत होतं आणि त्याच्यामुळे व्हेजिटेशन आपल्याला वेगळ्या पद्धतीचं दिसून आलं. ट्रॉपिकल फॉरेस्ट ज्याला आपण जंगल रिजन म्हणणार आहे, डेन्स प्लांटेशन आहे, रेनफॉल प्रेसिपिटेशन किंवा रेनफॉल लेवल पण काय झालेली आहे, वाढलेली दिसून येते. देन कोनिफेरस फॉरेस्ट मायनस डिग्री टेम्परेचर इथे, मायनस टू प्लस समहाऊ अप टू द 13 डिग्री सेल्सिअस. अँड देन आर्टिक अँड अल्पाईन टुंड्रा और तैगा रिजन. Okay, so here also there is temperature is very low, and in that condition the precipitation is low but snow covered area is here, and so that we observe different types of the flora and fauna according to the climatic condition. Now you think that the abiotic factors influence the biotic factors, but in the nature both biotic and abiotic factors are necessary for the survival of the living organism, survival of the species on the earth. So these biotic components are also necessary along with the abiotic factors, and these all interactions help the organism to survive as well as to reproduce in its own habitat. The condition is important, its own habitat. We should not disturb the habitat of the organism. Every organism is secured in its own habitat. Okay, so habitat is must. Then let's come to know about certain terms given in our textbook, which are the most essential terms. In this, there is a term ethology, which was first coined by Hillary but popularized by W.M. Wheeler. The term denotes for the study of the behavior of animals in relation to their environment. ॲनिमल्स, त्यांचं एन्व्हायरमेंट आणि त्यांचं बिहेवियरल पॅटर्न आपण पुढच्या व्हिडिओमध्ये ह्याच्याबद्दल जास्त अभ्यास करणार आहोत. सो इट इज कन्सिडर्ड अंडर द कन्सेप्ट ऑफ द इथॉलॉजी. देन इकॉलॉजी, we all already come to know about that. The term was introduced by Haeckel. It shows the relationship of animals and plants with their surrounding. Then the next concept is bionomics, which is coined by Lancaster. It shows the study of relation between organisms and their environment. There is slight difference between surrounding and environment. Environmental biology or the modern ecology is the term introduced in the 20th century by Clark and Odum. It shows that the functional or physiological interrelationship between organism and their surroundings. And finally, the biosphere, that means all the different ecosystems present on the earth constitutes the biosphere. And so, from this point of view, earth is the largest biosphere. Okay, it shows atmosphere, it shows hydrosphere, it shows lithosphere. Different biospheres constitute the earth. So, in this part, we are observing or completing about the first unit in our topic, which is related to the organism and their environment. Okay, in the next video we will study about the habitat and niche in detail. If you like my video, then subscribe my channel. That means you will come to know about the next videos. Like it, comment it and share it. Thank you for watching.